Alright, Shalom. This is Kanak Sa'an, Ban Yashar Allah of the GMS Jacksonville camp, coming with a short lesson on about an article that I read today about Russia boosting their military with 40 new intercontinental ballistic missiles. Same missiles that the apostles have been prophesying about for years that are going to destroy America by the hands of Russia. So I'm gonna go into the article just a little bit, not too deep into it, because most of y'all brothers out there in GMS already know about this. But I just want to bring the article for, just in case somebody didn't have a chance to read it. But I won't read the whole article. First, I want to give all honor and praises to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, and give double honors to the apostles of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, and give honors to the brothers that's out there on the highways and byways, prophesying the destruction of America and prophesying the return of Yahweh Shai to destroy this kingdom. And they're prophesying in sincerity and in truth. Alright, let me go ahead and get started. Alright, Putin says Russian military will receive 40 new intercontinental ballistic missiles this year. Now, the apostles have been, and the men of GMS have been prophesying that America is going to be destroyed by the same thing for years. But a lot of people in America don't feel like America is going to fall. It's already fallen economically, but it's going to be all-out physical warfare coming up pretty soon. All right. But the brothers of GMS already know this because we prophesied about this week in and week out on the highways and byways. All right. Russia's military this year alone will receive 40 new intercontinental ballistic missiles capable of piercing any missile defense. President Vladimir Putin said Tuesday in a blunt reminder of the nation's nuclear might aimed tensions with the West over Ukraine. Because you know that situation with America invading Ukraine, trying to be out on the coastal borders of Russia, just trying to pull little war moves to be in proper places to do so-called airstrikes and everything on Russia, but Russia's trying to put a stop to it. Putin made the statement at the opening of an arms show at a shooting range in Albino, just west of Moscow, a huge display intended to showcase the nation's resurgent military might. All right. Russia-West relations have plunged to their lowest point since the Cold War times over Moscow's annexation of Ukraine's Crimea Peninsula and support for a pro-Russia separatist insurgency in eastern Ukraine. The U.S. and the EU have slapped Russia with economic sanctions, and Washington and its NATO allies have pondered an array of measures to respond to Russia's moves. Right, if you don't remember back late last year and early this year, how gas prices were going low. Well, that was actually a war move by the United States and the UN and Saudi Arabia to try to destabilize the Ukraine. Well, not the Ukraine, but the Russian and Iran's economy. It was actually a war move, a power move pulled to try to destabilize their economy so they wouldn't have money to go to war. Right? I got an article on that too. Okay, this is the article on that war move that the United States pulled to try to destabilize the economy of Russia and Iran. All right, listening to the opinions of experts regarding the continuing sharp decline in oil prices, one is involuntarily surprised at the naive estimates, which can be summed up like this. Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and several other OPEC members are reducing oil prices exclusively to take over new markets during the global overproduction of black gold, in order to make the production of the shale oil in the U.S. unprofitable. These expert opinions do not take into account that geopolitical factor, namely the hard line that Washington has taken to undermine the Russian and Iranian economies to the greatest extent possible. The U.S. wants to subdue Moscow forcing it to play by American rules and to stop Moscow from conducting an independent policy, because that's what they were doing. Um, Iran and Russia have their own independent policies. As you know, they're not part of the UN, so they don't really abide by the UN sanctions. And they were doing their own distribution of oil. They weren't members of the OPEC, so they were doing their own thing. So now, with Saudi Arabia and Kuwait lowering the prices and the United States becoming a mass producer of oil, they produced the most oil in histories from the time Obama was. I wish I had that article up too. When Obama came into office in 2008, that's when the production of oil raised in the United States by 50%. They started doing more offshore drilling and things like that, right? Because they knew that they're going to try to subdue the economy in Iran and in Russia. All right. The next phase of the process is replacement of the current regimen under President Vladimir Putin with a pro-Western liberal. See, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to take Vladimir Putin out of the picture so they can put whoever they want to in office. But however, going back to this article over here, Vladimir Putin says the hell with all that because we're going to boost our military, right? All right. Let me see. Here we go. All right. The three Baltic members of the alliance, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, have asked NATO to permanently deploy ground troops to their nations as a deterrent against any increasing assertive Russia. A Polish defense minister, Tomasz Siemoniak, said Sunday that he and U.S. Defense Secretary Ash Carter held talks about placing U.S. heavy army equipment in Poland. See, now they're trying to get onto the other side of the coast of Russia to try to, it's another war move being placed by the United States and the UN, trying to situate themselves because they see Russia forming an alliance with Iran, Syria, and China and North Korea. They're trying to knock Russia down from trying to become that one powerhouse that it was back in the 80s. All right. Okay. Moscow bristled at the plans, warning Washington that the deployment of new U.S. weapons near Russian borders would foment dangerous instability in Europe. All right. Keep going. The United States is inciting tensions and carefully nurturing their European allies' anti-Russia phobias in order to use the current difficult situation for further expanding its military presence and influence in Europe. See, they're trying to put their troops all over Europe, because they're in alliance with the EU and NATO, so that America's trying to place troops anywhere they want to, just to try to put a vice grip on Russia. The Russian Foreign Ministry said in a comment late Monday, "We hope that reason will prevail and it will be possible to save the situation in Europe from sliding towards a military standoff which could entail dangerous consequences." It added, speaking at the arms show, Putin vowed to continue a big arms modernization program despite the nation's economic downturn. So the economy in Russia is fucked up. But Vladimir Putin says he doesn't care how fucked up the economy is. He doesn't care how oil prices are plummeting and it's tearing up the Russian economy. He's still going to spend all his money on up-to-date weaponry because he's getting ready for war with America. Bottom line. He specifically mentioned the Armata tanks and other new armored vehicles which were first shown to the public during a Red Square military parade last month, saying they have no analogs in the world. Putin also noted that the military was to start testing its new long-range early warning radar intended to monitor the western direction. So they know that that the United States is setting up some bullshit, trying to get close to the borders of Russia. You know, get close to the borders of Russia to try to plan an all-out war with Russia. Right, so Russia's they don't care about the economy because they're getting help from China, Syria, and Iran. They're getting financial help from them. It's already been a Cold War fighting with the whole ISIS thing, and the CIA put together the whole ISIS thing to fight against the militia over there in Ukraine and Russia, right? So Putin is no dummy. He knows what time it is. He knows what the United States and the NATO are trying to do by taking him out of the picture. Now, mind you, he said he's beefing up his military forces, but look what's happening in the U.S. Obama scales back military spending request defense budget cuts, right? So while Vladimir Putin is trying to boost his military, Obama is over here asking for military budget cuts. So if you're taking a military budget cut, how are you planning for war? That doesn't make any sense. They're trying to use everybody else to fight the war for them. They're just putting all their pawns in place to try to use everybody else to fight the war. See, America thinks they're not going to have to physically outright fight the war. They think they're going to use things like ISIS and the Taliban like they used once before to fight Cold Wars. But nah, they're going to be slowly mistaken that they're going to really have to get involved in this whole war, right? The Pentagon's 2015 budget outlined in the proposal released Tuesday by the Obama administration represents a small military more reliant on technology. At $595.6 billion, President Obama's proposed defense budget is just $113 million less than expected per last year's budget, because he cut it the year before too. About a 0.1% drop, and calls for cuts to personnel. Okay. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel recommended that the cuts last week as a part of a plan to downsize the U.S. Army to pre-World War II size. So it's going to be smaller than it was before World War II. Now, from the time of World War II, around the 1940s, 1930s, to now, pre-World War II till now, I mean, that's a big, drastic change in military. They're not using the same equipment anymore. So you would think you would have to spend more money to have a top-notch powerhouse military in this day and age than you would have to spend back then. But you're telling me that they're downsizing to be smaller than it was back then? Damn. Sucks to be America. Great for Israel. But anyway, Joshua Allah, that is. For the first time in 13 years, we will be presenting a budget to the Congress of the United States that's not a war-footing budget. Wow. So they're presenting a budget that's not fit for war, and they're trying to do this strategic sideways Cold War economic battle with Russia, Iran, Ukraine, and sublimity China and North Korea, but you don't have the military funding to back it. Yeah, but we all know in GMS what that is. That's Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai placing everything up so it could be the destruction of this sinful kingdom. As a matter of fact, let me get that in Amos real quick. Let's see. Page is getting stuck together. There we go. We get Amos 9 and 8. Because we already know we're going through the time of Jacob's trouble right now. And after that, it's going to be the hour of temptation where he's going to try the whole world. We're going to get judged first. Charlotte's going to get judged first, and then the rest of the world, all the heathens, will get judged afterwards. All right? This is Amos 9 and 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord our God are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. For lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like a corn is sifted in a sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All right. So that's what he's doing. He's sifting right now. See, the brothers that are staying diligent in the truth and putting forth, you know what I'm saying, news clippings and making videos and breaking down scriptures and breaking down these prophecies and watching, because we're the watchmen of the Lord. The angels are the eyes, but we're also the eyes of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? We're on the sinful kingdom. We're spreading the knowledge of these prophecies out to the elect and warning the rest of the people, because that's our job. So that's what we're doing right now. And the ones that stay diligent in the truth are the ones that are going to survive, are his elect. Right? Verse 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. See, when you come out when we go out there on the highways and byways week in and week out, and we prophesied about the destruction of America and the so-called white man going into slavery under the children of Israel, his elect, well, under the children of Israel, nation of Israel, right? People look at us like, nigga, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Ain't nothing like that finna happen to us, man. They've been talking about the world finna end for years. People feel like, the other nations, the 2/3 of the nation of Israel feel like the Most High won't shake the world. They feel like he won't shake the earth. But we are right, that time is right around the corner, man. You know what I'm saying? For these brothers that staying diligent in the truth, man, y'all keep doing what you're doing. For all y'all that's slacking, man, look, I feel sorry for you. Because right now is not the time to slack off, man. Right now, now's the time to really crank it up. Now's the time to really crank it up, because it's going down. It's coming real close. It's coming real close, man. So, I mean, it is what it is. There's no other way around it, man. If you're diligent in the truth, man, keep doing what you're doing. If you're not dealing with the truth and you're around here bullshitting, skating, thinking you're gonna skate around, well, you're gonna catch them missiles up your ass, just like the so-called white man right here in America. So, with that being said, I want to give all honor and praise to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And honors to the brothers that's out there pushing these prophecies and pushing this truth and sincerity in truth. This is Canucks from the GMS Jacksonville camp. Shalom.